When I'm taking Christians to a tour in Israel, the most important place that everyone wants to be is at the place that Jesus was crucified, died, been buried, and resurrected. And we are now, doing that tour. I'm doing that long tour, and I will explain a lot about the church. And I'm dedicating it to you, but I'm dedicating it, the Jerusalem cross, to a family from Uruguay. I never talked with someone from Uruguay. And he's actually watching my video just like you. Did you subscribe my channel? Please do that. Be part of my family. And his name is Jorge Ferreiro and Carolina, as I believe, his wife. They told me that I cannot visit Israel anymore because of health problems. Then in that case, this is my reason for that video, to bring Jerusalem to them. They bought the Jerusalem cross, which is unique to Jerusalem. If you want a different cross, this is the one. The main cross is Jerusalem itself, and the other 4 crosses can be whatever you want. 4 gospels, altogether 5 stigmatas, 3 in fire. Choose whatever you want, but the idea is that Jerusalem is the center of the world, and that's why this is a unique cross that you can find in the Holy Land. And they will hang it above their bed, and Jerusalem and the Holy Land and the energy will be with them. If you want that cross or something else, I do have a few options. Bible can be a very good idea. Then go into buy me a coffee link, or it's at the description of that video, beneath the video, or go to just write in Google buy me a coffee Zahi Shaked, and you will find it in there under the extras option. And or you can ask me a question and we'll send you the link. The idea is that I will buy them the cross made of olive wood. I will bless it in so many places. And one of today it's going to be in the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. And the video as a result of it, I will upload it to YouTube. And I will send it to them, of course. Then the cross will be above their bed, in their bedroom. Then in that case, let's talk a little bit about the Church of the Holy Sepulchre while I'm blessing the cross. Jesus was crucified at the Golgotha. And then he was buried as a Jew the same day. It was Friday around 3 o'clock. And on Sunday he resurrected. Then the tomb himself is empty. In that place he was crucified. They purified his body before they put him in that tomb, and the tomb is empty. The church was built at the 4th century, mainly because before the 4th century, nothing was allowed. I'm talking about Christians. Christians were a non-legal religion, and in that case, they couldn't build churches. They could actually say that they were Christians. The Romans used to, they built a temple on top of it. And then when St. Helena came, the mother of Constantine, who converted the Roman Empire into Christianity, when she came to here to look for evidence, and she found the tomb. Then the church is one of the first churches ever from 4th century, and but what you see here is mainly from the end of 11 and the beginning of 12th century, mainly because that place has been destroyed a few times. Another thing that you must know about that holy site is that this church, not like your churches, belongs almost to everyone. If you are Greek Orthodox, you believe that this is a Greek Orthodox church. If you are Catholic, you believe that it's a Catholic church. If you are Armenian, you believe that it is Armenian church, but it's not. Christians hold it. Catholic, Greek Orthodox, Armenian, but you can find here Coptic, Syrianic church, Assyrian church, Egyptian on the roof. Then in that case, when so many denominations holding one important place, if not the most important place, there are so many problems between them. For example, look at the floor. You can see that it doesn't look like the best floor ever. And you saw a Greek Orthodox monk entering the church, and I changed my place to a different place, mainly because there's a group that is now heading, sitting there, and they are more important to me because I'm one person. Of course not, I'm with you, but they need more space, and I can find myself sitting next to the excavation area. Then, for example, now they agree after so many years to build here, to renovate the floor. Then I can see there are 2 storage room for that, and inside the church you will see more of it. They are excavating first, and then they are sadly, we won't be able to see what they found. They will publish it, but they will cover it with, I don't know if it's going to be new or the same one, same floor, but at least more organized. Then another way to show you the tension between the different Christian denomination in the church is the ladder there. The ladder belongs to the Armenian. The 2 windows, the inner side is owned by the Armenian, but the outer side belongs to whom? And this is the question, because they took the ladder and started to clean the other side of the windows, and the Greek Orthodox told them, it's not yours. The facade belongs to everyone. And until they figure out who owns it, it will be like that. And I do have some pictures of the facade of the church from 1850. Then, let's continue. Jorge and Carolina, I hope that I'm pronouncing your names correctly. Look at that. Ooh, look at that stone that they took out. This is history in process. And they will open the storeroom and put it there. This is for us an option to see what's happening there. See, every video might will be different.
Друзья мои, мы сейчас вот эту колонну сфотографируйте, пожалуйста. Здесь сошел благодатный огонь в 15 веке, колонна
Right. Little bit of that, which usually is not open to the public. We got it. The facade that you see here is mainly from end of the 11th century and the 12th century, but let's climb up. Let me see, it is to one of the chapels. It's called the Franks Chapel, and this is one of the stations of the Via Dolorosa. It's usually closed. I've been there only once in my lifetime, and that's where they stripped him from his clothes. It's a beautiful chapel, and because of the glass, it will be difficult for us to see the remain of the mosaic. Now we can see it a little bit because it's focused. Yeah, all right. Let me see if you, it's a little bit of the Crusader mosaic. Look at the gold color. That used to be one of the entrances of the church, but Saladin decided to close it, and from that moment it's closed and no one can open it, although you can see that the door is still here, and we will see the door from the other side, because the Golgotha is here, and that was one of the entrances to the church of the Holy Sepulchre. I must say that I'm not afraid of heights, but I'm really afraid now. There's a little bit of the Crusader mosaic there as well. The white color, here it is. Then in that chapel they strip him from his clothes, and we will enter now to the church. But you can see in the excavations from above. You can see the storeroom from above. Then let's leave that place without dying. There's so many things to talk about, but it's going to be long. And as you can see, although it's a video that I made so many times, every video is different. Now let's climb up to the Golgotha. The Golgotha, the Calvary, the crucifixion place, belongs to the Catholic and the Greek Orthodox. At a certain time they built the plaza here that we, the disciples, will be able to climb up. Wow, it's empty. Good for us. Remember the door that we saw outside at the front chapel? Here it is. This is the chapel, and the door still exists. This is the Catholic part. The Greek Orthodox is where it looks like the Armenian priest is standing. Here you can see nailing to the cross. You see Mary, Jesus' face, Mary Magdalene, the other one was Mary the Mother. And then there's a mosaic above us, takes us from the Christian story, you can see the Salvus Mundi, until Eve, Adam, Abraham, David, King David. It's beautiful to see the connection between them to Jesus. But everything here is totally new, except of that. This is the Ascension mosaic from 12th century, Crusader time. Then let's bless it. Here. In the Catholic chapel, you can see another station of the Via Dolorosa, another story, and that is Mary with a spear in her heart. Why does the spear in the heart? When she was at the temple, at the presentation at the temple, Saint Simon told her that her son will die in front of her eyes. From that moment, she knew the future of her son. From that moment, she never smiled. the two parts of the Golgotha here. One belongs to the Catholic. The other one belongs to the Greek Orthodox, but it's the same bedrock. And this is the crucifixion place, which belongs to the Greek Orthodox. John, Mary, and Jesus. On top of Jesus, you can see the four cities. Oops, there it is. 4 letters in 3 different languages. Jesus from Nazareth, King of the Jews. Let's place the cross at the exact spot of the crucifixion. Jorge, Carolina, I bless the cross there. The energy of Christ will be above your bed forever. And as the Greek Orthodox told me, if you will feel dizzy or bad, but you are a believer, just touch the cross. The energy is there. It's a new gimbal and I'm trying to handle it, sadly not with a lot of success lately. This is part of the Greek Orthodox chapel. This is the last week, the Holy Week. See, for example, here, he's kissing Jesus. It's Judas. Jesus is praying at Gethsemane, and you can see the disciples following sleep. Let's leave the church, but not before. You can see, let's look at the view here. You can see where they purify the body of Jesus, and from there we will go to the tomb. I must say that compared to 3 years, August 3 years ago, it is very empty. You will see a mosaic wall from 2000, built by the Greek Orthodox. And we just visited the Golgotha. And Joseph of Arimathea, which is the guy with the white beard next to the mother, asked Pontius Pilate to get the body of Jesus and bury here, because a Jew must be buried at the same day, and that's why he gave Jesus his own tomb that was in his garden, which was next to the Golgotha. And that's why the Golgotha and the tomb is under the same church. Then as they purified his body, they put the lint, put a shroud on his body, and then they put him in a tomb, which is supposed to be a cave. And I want you to remember the idea of the cave. But meanwhile, let's bless Jorge Ferreiro and Carolina Let's bless the cross in, for me, the most energetic stone ever, because that's where the naked body of Jesus touching. You can see that people are blessing themselves there. And let's wait a little bit. Through the Armenian chapel, and that's where the three ladies, actually, or the women, saw the crucifixion. It was there, and there. We will reach the tomb. There's no line here today, thanks God for that. Then soon I will visit the tomb with the cross, of course. Sadly, I cannot take a video in the tomb, inside the tomb. Then, in that case, I will bless it later on. The tomb is divided into two. The first part is the angel chapel. We took care that no one will steal the body of Christ. The inner one is the tomb itself. Here you can see the first chapel with the candlelight. Now the priest is. Now you can see the can. And the inner part is the tomb. And we are asking ourselves, where is the cave? Then don't worry, you will see the cave soon. And as I said, I will bless it later on. They are excavating here to see what's happening. The floor can see a little bit of it. But they recently opened that part. The noise is because of it. And you can see a little bit of it.
Excuse me.
And
Hello.
we will continue with it. How are you? A question. I saw, this is the amazing chapel that I love, and although I cannot do that quickly, I needed to do it quickly. Right there's a stone that we believe that the head of Jesus was lying in it when they buried him, and I blessed the cross there. Thank you very much to do that. And this is the Coptic chapel, belongs to that. I love the Coptic people. And if you're talking about that, sadly, he didn't let me take a video of it, but I blessed it there. And look at that. It's the most important place in the world. It doesn't look like it, isn't it? Then let's talk about the place itself. It was burned down. At 1808, this is not by the enemy, it was burned down by the Christians themselves. A mistake. And so many denominations actually asking for that room. Then, as you can see, no one maintained it. Beside the floor that they put here, like let's say 10 years ago, no one touched that room. I'm not going into who is doing it, but now you know the story. I entered here because of that. First of all, you can see here, and this is so rare, a wall from the 4th century. Secondly, you can see that there are so many holes around it. Let me show you more of it. Here it is. Then you can see an evidence from the 4th century. Here you can see a lot of holes. It means that someone decorated here with good stones and with marble here more than any other place in that room. What you can see here is a tomb. This is a Jewish tomb from time of Jesus, 1st century. And for that, let me use the flash. Aha, here it is. Then you can see that there are some niches in it, and we will talk about it. But let me go in before someone will enter. And you can see that some of the niches, like that one, is still blocked. Here down, still, you can see that. Let me go backward. You can see here as well. Then it looks like, no, it not looks like, something is beneath it, and they are behind it and the other side of it. But let's go out and let me talk about it outside, because there's another group that wants to be there. Let's sit here watching the tomb of Jesus. Let's start to talk about that place. That place that we are visiting now was outside the city, outside the wall. We know that Jesus was crucified outside the wall. King Herod used that place as a quarry, and soon we will see it then. In that case, you must understand, if that is a quarry, it means that it was outside the city. And people used it later on after King Herod died, before the Romans took it. They just used it for mainly for burial site. Because if you can excavate here, if it's a quarry, then it's easy to have some caves like the one that you saw. Then let's talk about how the Jews used to be buried. You saw the niches, and a few like that. Then let's say if there were 6 like that, then they buried the first 6 Jews who died. But what will happen to the next one? There's no more place. And they will open the niche, they will take the bones out, and then they will bury someone else instead. Jesus got the tomb of Joseph of Arimathea that no one used before. And now we can understand why the Bible mentioned it. Because that tomb was used so many times. And as you can see, some of the niches are still closed. Strange, isn't it? Then let's say thank you again to the priest. Thank you again. And I will stand in the line later on, because it looks like it's not going to be so crowded. Remember, I cannot go in with the cross. And I'm entering to another important chapel. This is a Greek Orthodox one. You can see here one of the domes, the small one. The big one is above the tomb. And if you never saw a Greek Orthodox church, or cathedral in that way, you can recognize it with the wall of icons. The other side of the wall of icons is where the priests are connecting to God Himself, to Jesus as well. And the disciples are usually outside. Now, why that wall is not so beautiful, and why the other wall is not so beautiful? You can see that it was built with cement without a lot of decoration, mainly because it used to be open until 1900, and then secretly the Greek Orthodox sealed it. Again, I'm not going to if it's good or not. This is reality. Jerusalem in heaven is the chandelier. Beautiful, isn't it? And now when we know it, it's already 30 minutes. But if it's okay by you, I want to show you some more. Oh, the flash is still working. That's not good. It's not saving my battery. Then Jorge, Carolina Ferreiro. Let's continue. Later on, I will light a candle for you. Right there. In front of the tomb of Jesus. You already recognize that place, isn't it? But let's go to at least two more places. We came out of the Golgotha. We left the Golgotha from here. But let's enter to here. You can see the bedrock of the Golgotha. We were at the upper part of it. And this is Adam Chapel, Adam and Eve. When Jesus died on the cross, when he shouted, Abba, Abba, lama sabachthani, Father, Father, why did you leave me? Then the earth shook. You can see the result of it, the creek. And blood of tears and water from the body of Jesus fell down. And people actually resurrected. One of them, according to the Greek Orthodox, was Adam, from Adam and Eve. Then this is the chapel of Adam. And before you will ask me, how can it be that the tomb of Adam is here because of the flood? Then let me tell you that according to the Greek Orthodox, the tomb of Adam was in heaven until after the flood, and then it moved to here. Another thing that used to be here are tombs of knights. Knights of the Crusader knights. Here and beneath that floor, beneath the wall. And sadly, it's not there anymore. The Greek Orthodox took it out when they renovated here. We don't know where are the bones, the bodies, or the sarcophags of them. This is another part of the Golgotha. Let's continue to the lower part of the church. Yeah, it's going to be a long video, as I said. But we like it. At least I like it. Two more chapels. Linguist chapel. This is a Armenian chapel with the spear. The original spear, as the Armenian believes, is in Yerevan, the capital. In a place that I've been there. It's difficult for me to remember the name, and if you know what I mean, then write it down for me. Difficult. But sorry. You're welcome. Then another stone from the floor. Sticking out, you know exactly where. And why there are so many Armenian chapels? The Armenian as a nation, convert themselves into Christianity 30 years before Constantine did it to the rest. Then Jorge and Carolina were heading out to the lowest part of the church. And there you can see the quarry that I was talking about. But meanwhile, you can see 9 cities together with Ararat one that had been destroyed by the Ottomans at the Armenian genocide in 1950. Let's leave the Armenian chapel, let's go back to the Catholic chapel to see where St. Helena found 3 crosses, one of them was the cross of Jesus, the true cross. Look how beautiful it is. Let me bless the cross here. Is it okay, Theo? Yeah? Then you can see here a beautiful place, and this is the lowest part. And it used to be a quarry. This is part of King Herod quarry. And when he died, he stopped working here, and people started to use that area as a burial site and as water system. Look at the plaster on the wall. And look at the bucket holes. And then St. Helen, when she came to here, they show her 3 crosses that were found right there. And the 3rd cross touches sick woman and cure her. Another thing that you can see here is a beautiful fresco from 12th century that survived here. Let's climb up. Then in that case, that church, almost for sure, was outside the gates. And we saw tombs from the time of Jesus. Then it was a cemetery area. Then there's no reason to believe that it wasn't the crucifixion spot. But, as I told you, there's another option. It's called the Garden Tomb, outside the walls, next to Damascus Gate. And it's worth visiting.
You want to go down?
The noise is because of they are working here. Sorry about the noise that I will run a specific one from there. But this is the prison as we believe of Jesus. Let me show you how it used to be. Look like he was waiting for his crucifixion in the area of the Golgotha. Just run away. if we can. And we cannot. But let's run away. Another stone half the floor that was taken out. That this is the time to tell you that if you want to hear, if you do have some questions, don't hesitate, and please subscribe my channel. This is the best way to know that you are part of my family. This is according to the Greek Orthodox. A stone that Jesus was sitting on it while the soldiers, the Roman soldiers, were laughing at him, beat him, and put a crown of thorn on his head. And that was 41 minutes of lovely tour at the Church of the Holy Sepulchre. What left for me to do is to enter now with the cross of you, Jorge and Carolina. And let me show you that I wrote your name in Hebrew and English. And I will send it soon to Uruguay. Thank you very much for being with me in another beautiful tour. I do have more than 20,000 tours like that of the Holy Land. Stay with me. See you. Bye bye.